Hello, Shadowcat back with more RimWorld, and it's time for start something new. It's been a long time since I started a new series here. The Rim of Time went on a really long time. And that was because of the kind of nebulous way that it was ending, but that's okay. We're starting something new, and this time we have much better defined boundaries on this one. So today we are going to begin with SCPR. That is Secure, Contain, and Protect the RimWorld. Now, this is going to be a little bit different than the last one in many ways, but the primary way is that this is going to be much less reliant on mods and much more reliant on rules. So before we get into the rules, let's go over the mod list that we're using, because the mod list is actually pretty light. I know that there are other people out there that will have mod lists that go into the hundreds of mods. Not me. I don't need a whole lot of mods to make me happy, I just need the right mods to make me happy. So, I have broken it all down into two primary categories. One of them is going to be quality of life, one of them will be content. And you'll notice that we're going for a pretty vanilla run here. Again, it's not going to be so much about what we're doing, it's going to be about how we're doing it. So let's start with things like the quality of life. We are starting with the blueprints mod, just in case I need it, in case that I want to be able to copy and paste a whole bunch of different structures at once. Blueprints is great. Camera Plus and Follow Me are staples. If you want to follow some person and watch what they're doing, you need it. Not to mention that Camera Plus gives you a lot more versatility. Color-coded mood bars is just there for flavor. Defensive positions, it's a requirement as far as I'm concerned. One button and you get everybody to go to their positions. Dubs mint menus is just nice. Prepare carefully is required if you're going to do a series like this. Everyone gets one. One of the best quality of life mods there is, because it automatically scales with your colony. It allows you to say, hey, you want to make food? Just make one for everybody. And if the number of people goes up tomorrow, so does the number that we need. A new one for me is going to be Harvest Organs Post-Mortem. That may be required later on as we get into things. Maybe. I'm not sure yet. Human pregnancy durations is in there just because if, and I do have to stress if it comes up, then I want them to be normal durations. That is approximately 9 months. Now, seeing as how we have a 12-month year, and RimWorld is broken up into 4 quadrums of 15 days, you can assume that every, air quotes, month is about 5 days. So, 9 months would be 45 days, 3 quadrums, there you go. That should be a normal pregnancy. And that's what I like to to model. Minify everything, just because, in the words of Decoherent, if we have starships, how come we don't have a pallet jack? Now we can. Mortar accuracy, just because mortars are garbage without it. No job authors, because I like the idea of people being able to help each other on projects, so that's what that does. Numbers, just so that I can keep track of different statistics. Performance optimizer, just to help things run better. Quality builder, easy. You set a quality and there you go. Random research, just so that they'll do research on their own and they don't have to wait for me to give them research. It helps me to vary up the game a little bit. Otherwise, every run can feel kinda samey. We can still override that if we need to, but otherwise I can just let them do the research and they'll figure it out on their own. After all, this is a story generator, not necessarily an RPG. Realistic human sounds, just so that they're not, mute pawns. The ability to rename pawns, replace stuff, so we can replace stuff, it's pretty easy. Run and gun, so that they can do exactly that. They don't have to stop to shoot. Self-dying, so that they can make themselves pretty if they want. Simple sidearms, just so that they can carry more weapons. More bridges, just so that we can add more of those. Mostly so that if we need to build over water, we can. Snap out, just so that they can help calm each other down. No default shelf storage. I like it that way because then I can make sure that every shelf is the way I want it to be, and if I forget, I get distracted. It doesn't just automatically assign something and pawns start moving things. The allow tool just lets me allow everything on the map. Ambient rim is going to add things like bird sounds, wind, grass sounds, stuff like that. It's going to be good. Realistic darkness, because night should look like night. Priority treatment, because doctors should be doctors. Bed rest for food poisoning, because pawns with food poisoning are useless. Better pawn control, work tab, and better workbench management, just to make things operate better. Now, content mods. Again, we're going to be keeping pretty close to how this how vanilla is. So things that we're going to need: iron and coal. We are replacing steel with iron, or at least we should be. Hopefully that mod still works. We're replacing steel with iron, and we're adding coal, meaning that my pawns will now need to go through and add, or they'll have to make their own steel with iron. Why? Because you shouldn't be finding steel. Not in a mountain. Doesn't work like that. So iron is better. Dub's Bad Hygiene, just to add a little bit more functionality and realism to it. We'll be having Rimifeller and Rimatomics, so we'll have oil and nuclear power. EPOE, so we have lots of prosthetics because we may need those. Fireworks, just because fireworks are fun. Why not? We can have fun sometimes. Deep storage, just because deep storage is good. We are playing with the entire vanilla expanded suite. Why is that? Well, number one, because it's going to add a lot of variety. A lot of variety. It's going to add all kinds of new races that we are going to have to catalog, and I will cover that more when we get into the rules for this run. We're also going to have wall lights, because wall lights are convenient. We will have embrasures, because, again, if we have the technology to build a starship, I think we can put a hole in a wall. Weird concept, I know. I added in disasters tornadoes, just because we already have thunderstorms, and so tornadoes can happen in really bad thunderstorms. It's just adding a little bit more variety and realism to the weather. We also have mend and recycle, because why should you have to make a brand new shirt if you can just put a patch on it? And some more floors, just to give us a little bit more variety as we're going. So, that is pretty much, with a few exceptions, the entire mod list. Super simple. So, let's get into, now, the rules. The rules for what we're going to be doing here. Number 1, passion skills. This is my own personal rule that I use in all of my games. Since we are going to be using the vanilla expanded skills, we have several different skill type or passion types that are not normally available. We have the new triple flame, which is a critical passion. We have the white flame, which is natural skill. We also have the black flame, which is apathy. But how this is going to work is this. Triple flames, critical passions, they're going to get a 1 automatically on everything they're doing. Okay? Priority 1 on everything. Priority 2 is going to be reserved for natural abilities and burning passions. That's 2 flames. They're going to share that spot. These are people that are really good at what they do. And so it's going to be higher, but not quite as high as the critical passions. Below that is going to be just regular passions. People that have a small single flame. They like what they're doing, they get a mood buff from doing it, they may not be the best at it, they're going to get a 3. Underneath that is going to be 4. 4 is for people who do not have a passion for something, but they have skills in doing it. See, you'll have a little red box around the skill from like skill levels 1 through 3, I think. And if you get that, it just means you're really bad at doing it, and you should beware. So there's a space between the minor passion and that's where normal people are going to fit in. If you know how to do what you're doing, but you don't necessarily want to do it, that's your level. And then of course number 5 and below, number 5 is really the lowest I'm going, but number 5 is going to be anybody who has no passion and no skill for what they're doing. If you have no passion and no skill in cooking, you're going to get a 5. Why? Because quite frankly, I don't want you doing it. You're bad at it, but at the same time, I'm leaving it open to where if you have nothing else to do, you can go and practice it. And we will see along the way that a lot of those red numbers will go away. And people will move up to a 4 in those skills. Why? Because they still don't want to do it, but now they at least know how to do it. And then some other things will get 1s across the board. Anything that's considered dumb labor will get a 1 across the board. Doctoring always gets a 1 across the board just because I want everybody doing it. You might not be the best at doing it, but having a bad doctor is still better than having no doctor. So that's how that's going to work. That is passion skills. That is a staple in all of my runs. It also keeps my runs from becoming the same because it is completely dependent on who is in the colony. Sometimes you can have really good pawns who will cover all of your bases. Sometimes you will have no constructors and you will be finding caves to sit in because nobody wants to build. It can get interesting. But now let's get into the SCP themed rules. And this is where things are going to get very difficult. This is going to be one of the more difficult runs that I've ever done because of all the rules. And if you're familiar with SCP, you should be familiar with the fact that they do indeed have a lot of rules. One of the things that makes SCP what it is the fact that it is a full-on bureaucracy nightmare. And we're going to simulate it. So, for starters, I guess I'll show this off right now. We are actually going to be cataloging things. I have here a spreadsheet, and it has on it cells for different anomalies. We are going to be cataloging the anomalies as we go. And an anomaly is going to be anything that is either weird, unexplained, or potentially dangerous. And you would be surprised how much of RimWorld is going to fall into that category. And we're going to explain it right now. So, first rule. All xenotypes are going to be considered anomalous. That means that if we have a dryad or an impid or a waster or a hemophage or whatever it happens to be, if one of them shows up, they are automatically considered a Euclid anomaly, and they must be secured and contained. That means that even if they come willingly, even if we are rescuing them, they will be imprisoned. Now, that is not to say that they're going to stay there forever. Part of SCP is observation and categorization. We will imprison them, and then we will need to recruit them as normal. That recruitment process is going to be our vetting process. Once we do that, they will be able to join us after we determine that they are safe. A prison is probably going to be one of the first things that we're building. So, anyone who comes in who is not a baseliner human will be imprisoned. It's just what we have to do. We are SCP. As we're playing, we will see different complexes pop up. Most of them are just going to be some form of abandoned complex or dilapidated complex. Whatever it is, we are obligated by the SCP Foundation to investigate every single one of them. I hate this rule. I hate caravanning. But we signed on for the job. We're doing the job. Every single one will have to be investigated. On the subject of anomalies, though, we have anomalies that are going to be around us. For example, if we see a thrombo, thrombos are considered anomalous. They are not part of the natural wildlife on the map. If one shows up, it is to be considered anomalous. It will be a Euclid anomaly, I'm sure, and we have to either contain it or destroy it. This is going to be difficult because if you know anything about thrombos, they are not to be trifled with. Something that can be trifled with, but we will not be trifling with, is the anima tree. The anima tree is automatically an anomaly. Because of that, we cannot build anywhere near it. It has a no-build radius on it, and we will be respecting that. As such, however, because of its anomalous nature, we also have to protect it, which is going to get really interesting. Furthermore, I said that we're not going to be using the anima tree, and that is true because we are not allowed to make psycasters at all. No psycasters. Not through the anima tree, not through neuroformers. Any neuroformers will have to be put into the vault. We are not allowed to make psycasters. Now, if we find a psycaster, that is an entirely different being. We'll deal with that when the time comes. The same thing also applies to mechanitors. We are not allowed to make a mechanitor. A mechanitor has psychic control over an entire swarm of potentially killer robots. That is a Keter class anomaly just waiting to happen. So we are not making mechanitors. Anything mechanoid related will have to go into the vault. Additionally, we cannot make any genetic hybrids. No human hybrids. They're anomalous, they're Euclid at best, and we can't have them. We are basically going to be denying ourselves all of the most fun toys as we work on our quest to find and categorize the anomalies on this planet all the way up to all the big mysterious ones on the planet, and I'm talking about things like the Archeonexus. That is going to be on our list of things to do. So, that's the goal. It is a lot of rules to abide by, and it's going to make this a very, very difficult, a very, very difficult run, I think. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into SCPR. Okay, welcome to the new planet. And from the SCP Foundation, Deployment Log SCPR Theta 2. By order of the O5 Council, Mobile Containment Unit SCPR Theta 2 has been authorized for planetary insertion. This region has been classified as Anomaly Convergence Zone Redacted, obviously. Sector Theta 9. Preliminary scans confirm active anomalous entities, Class B biomechanical threats, and multiple memetic hazards. Your mission is to establish an FOB, or Forward Containment Outpost, I guess. Secure the area, identify and catalog all emergent anomalies, and enforce the primary directive. Standard field discretion is authorized. Ethics Committee oversight has been waived. You are not colonists. You are not civilians. You are SCP Foundation personnel. Secure, contain, and protect. Now, before we do anything, we have been given some supplies. We have been given armor, we have been given weapons in a variety to help us handle all the things that we have here. We have no idea what we're necessarily going to be up against, so let's take a quick look around before we go too far. We're going to have to find a place to establish a base, and I'm going to use one of my personal favorite templates. And I'm sure that once you see it, maybe you'll like it too. First things first, I know there's an anima tree on the map. The question is, where is it? I need to know because we can't build near it. Here it is. And there's the radius in which we cannot build. Which shouldn't be a big deal. Well, okay, it might be a big deal, because that would normally be one of my building sites. Okay. Well, it's not the only one. How many more of these do we have? There are 7 of them out here. There's one. There's 2 of them over here. This would be a good place to start, actually. There's another one up there. Another one right there. And I think that might be it. Nope, there's another one down there. Okay. I think we're going to build here. So let's go ahead and begin laying the foundations for what we want to do. I'm going to use my standard pinwheel. It is a tried and true design that works in almost every situation. And then we'll set people to work. Okay, there's one. It's like they are a little bit offset. It's inconvenient, but it's okay. Okay, so that's going to be the maximum footprint of the base, and now we get to carve out how it's actually going to look, and you'll see why I call it a pinwheel. So there's going to be one courtyard, 2 courtyards. Now let's start making the rooms. These are going to end up being bedrooms. Maybe, depending on how things work out. Because already I can see they're going to collide. But that's part of the fun. It is a standard template, but sometimes when things collide, you have to adapt. And so that's going to be 1. That's going to be 2, and that's going to make that room look like that. That's weird. But not the worst thing ever. And 7x7 is a really good size for the rooms, and I'll show you why once we get to that point, because we have a lot of building we're going to have to do to get all this set up. Now, there are things that we're going to need in this game that you might not need as much in other games. For example, we will need a prison, like, really fast. It's going to be kind of unavoidable. In particular, if we happen to come across any xenospecies that want to join us. Because if we can't put them in a prison, we'll have to kill them. I really don't want to do that. So we're going to need to have a containment facility up as soon as possible. Alright, and there we go. That's going to be our base. Now we just got to actually build it. We'll start with this area right here. We'll put that there. We'll go ahead and allow everything, and then we'll go ahead and put my people to work. And while they're working, we can go through who our people are. So let's go ahead and get started. And before anything else, let's make sure that everyone is actually turned on to everything. Okay, there we go. So I'll fill out the priorities in just a second, but let's take a look. So, obviously, starting off, I will be inviting people to join us. If you want to join us, all you have to do is leave a comment down below. Let me know that you want to be part of the SCP Foundation, and I will make sure you are a part of it. But, for those channel members and patrons, you get automatic placement, because I like you, and you get stuff. So, right here we have JP. JP is going to be our, well, let's see. He was a Starship scamp who turned into cannon fodder, which seems unfortunate. He didn't have any opportunities or connections with influential individuals after reaching adulthood. Knowing his only opportunity was to join the military, he enlisted into the lowest ranks of the army. I mean, it happens. Still, though, I mean, he's doing good. So that's JP. We also have PC Unicorn here. PC Unicorn was a gifted burnout who became a policeman. Very smart, apparently. Also one of our best builders. We also have Weirin Saren, a tuner punk who became a corporate spy. We don't ask questions, but at least they're nice. So that's good. And Then we have Bor Aranek, a civil rights activist who became a forester. Don't ask me why, I'm really not sure how that works out, but it did. And then Petros, who was a coma child and then became a propagandist. Why is there a propagandist working for SCP? Honestly, the jokes kind of write themselves sometimes. So, let's make sure that we get everyone set up here. So, bed rest goes all the way up, Halt Plus goes all the way up, Basic is all the way up, so is Nuclear, so is Resource Console, so is Hauling, so is Cleaning. All of those things are all the way up. Doctor goes all the way up because everybody needs practice. Okay? I can't really have just people that say, nah, I don't want to be a doctor. Sorry, you have to at least learn first aid. Everything else, though, let's see. I can barely read this, but we'll get in a little bit closer. Childcare. Again, anything that is in red is automatically going to be a 5. So I can honestly just go through and change all those right now. Well, I should say not everything. If it has a passion on it, it's going to go up to the appropriate number. Usually, though, if you have a passion in something, you're pretty good at it. In this case, however, no, these people are not good at it. So, there, we got that. Now, as for the rest, some skills, but no passions, go to a 4. Single passion is going to be a 3. And so we're just going to go through. You've got a burning passion there. That goes up. That one goes down. That one stays. And this is how we're going to go through everything. If you see my other series, you know exactly what we're doing here. It can be frustrating sometimes, but it does make things interesting. I would kill for a mod that would do this for me, though. You have passions, so those don't change. Okay. Those go up. That one goes down. And that one goes up. And the rest of these, I think, just stay the same. I think we're good here. If I did miss something, I'm not too worried about it. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be good enough. Okay, as we are going through and building over here, well, gathering stuff over here, people have already picked up their armor. That's good. We're going to need that. We also need to get building, because we have a lot to build. We'll need some doors. Doors go in very specific places for very specific reasons, and you'll find that out later. Now, I need my people to be armed. I have no necessarily good shooters, I know that much. Okay, shooting accuracies. My best shooter is going to be JP. As such, you're getting the sniper rifle. And take a knife. Next up, PC Unicorn. You're going to get an assault rifle. Boar. You're going to get an assault rifle and a knife. Petros. Since you're my next best, you're my 4th best rather, you'll get the LMG. This is for suppressing fire. So come and get this. And Weirin, as my worst shot, you're going to get the shotgun. Don't worry, you'll figure it out. It's a very simple point-and-click interface. You point, and then make it go click. If it goes bang, keep pulling the trigger until it goes click. Yeah, there's the iron ore that I was talking about. Okay, things that we're going to need, though. We are going to need at least one of these things put together. Actually, maybe not this one. We'll go with this side. I don't really have any good miners either. Alright, looks like everyone got their guns. One thing that I do need to set up is going to be schedules. I have no night owls, so that's good. I'm going to clear out the sleeping spot because I don't want them to sleep necessarily too much. However, unlike normal games that I've played, this time I will have work times. Now, they are going to get an 8-hour work day. I'm going to presume they get 8 hours, or roughly 8 hours of sleep. So that means that I need to clear out some space here. I'm going to make a 4-hour work section right there, and then a 4-hour work section here. That's 8 hours of work. Oh, and okay, before we can even do that, we have our first event. An ancient danger. Okay. Right here is the ancient danger, and this is where things are going to get interesting. So as we're going, we are going to identify things that we cannot explain, and we're going to have to log them. This is the ancient danger. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to go back to this. And we need to fill this out. Okay. So the first entry. First thing it's going to need is going to be an item number. Now, since I don't have the collective knowledge of the SCP Foundation, I have no idea what their numbers actually are. So we're going to be making our own local registry. Not SCP, but SCPR. And then this will be number 1. Now, the object class. So the object classes, as I understand them, are primarily either safe, neutralized, which means it's been destroyed, Euclid, which means that it is potentially dangerous, or there's a potential escape risk, or Keter class, which is either actively dangerous or actively trying to escape. So let's think about this. An ancient danger. Is it actively trying to escape? Not as far as I know. Is it dangerous? Very possibly. So we're going to go ahead and err on the side of caution here, and we're going to call this one Keter class. Or no, object class, excuse me. Object class is going to be a structure. Containment class will be Keter. Now, containment procedure. Here's where we have to decide what we're going to do with it. Now, we don't have to open it. We're not going to open it intentionally. Instead, we need to make sure that it remains contained. So, containment procedures are going to be claim, observe, and repair. We'll put this in the next line. Repair as needed. And that should be it. Well, I might be able to put this up here, actually. Repair as needed. And then neutralize if breached. Okay. And the description is going to be really simple. It is an ancient building of unknown origin, contents unknown. And what's it made out of? This is made out of limestone. So, limestone construction. And there we go. That's going to be our first entry. We have our very first SCP entry. And so, now we're going to follow our own rules. We'll grab the claim tool. We will claim as much as we can, and we are not responsible for it. Looks like it actually continues up here, too. Alright, now, we are not allowed to open it up. All we can do is log it and proceed as normal. If anything else opens it up, though, there's the potential that we could do something with it. And whether we actually coerce somebody into opening it for us, we'll have to wait and see. And already I'm noticing something here. $10, $11. I'm one line off here. Oh, are we paused? We are paused. Okay, let's try this again. That goes like that. That goes up there. Good thing I noticed that earlier. I'd hate to have to tear it down again and start over. Alright, so, we are running out of daylight here. And the entire reason why I cleared, or I was looking at that, is because we need to get this up. We need the Holy Horseshoe Pin. The Holy Horseshoe Pin is basically an SCP on its own. I mean, doesn't matter what colony you're making, if you don't have the Holy Horseshoe Pin, it fails. Alright, we have people sleeping all over the place, unfortunately. They spent too much time gathering things. It's alright though, we'll let them sleep. Actually, they're not sleeping for all that long. That's a good thing. I mean, we are enforcing a strict schedule, and oh yeah, I need to finish that schedule too. So, copy and paste, 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 paste. Okay, we got that done. Other things that we need to take care of is, in the event that you are attacked, you need to be able to defend yourselves. Alright, and here we go with the building. We need to get at least the basic structure up. We should have a stockpile that is covered, so that our food is protected from the wildlife. like this thing. Get this thing away from our food. It's not anomalous, it's just a raccoon. Okay, it's fine. Leave it alone. Okay, we're out of wood. That's fine. That is actually fine. We'll get more wood. Here's the other corner, and we'll just drag this all the way down to this corner, and there. Gather more wood. I need to at least get them some kind of living quarters so that we're out here surviving and not just enduring. Oh, everyone's back asleep again. Okay, oh, they're using their recreation time to sleep, too. That's fine. They're welcome to do what they want with their recreation time. Oh, by the way, you guys should all be using your guns by default. We'll need to get beds just in case we get injuries as well. Also, medicine. And there's a lot of new things in here that I'm still learning. There were some significant interface changes since the last time I was here. Heat stroke. Okay. That's something that we'll need to keep in mind. Defaults. Colonists, I only want using industrial medicine as normal. Prisoners are only going to get that. Slaves, yes. Ghouls, I don't even know what a ghoul is, but sure. Tamed animals, we're not taming a whole bunch of animals here unless we need to. Okay, good enough. Alright, we're going to need places for people to sleep. And for right now, we're all going to share a room. That'll be good enough for now. We will need a washroom. For right now, a latrine is the best we can do. And it's raining. Also, we'll need a well. This is a good place for a well right here. We're also going to want to enclose this. Make sure to put the doors in. Because this is going to be our farm. Oh, and as it's going to be our farm, I better make sure there's no roof over it. There we go. I kind of wish that before you did the well, you would actually finish this room. But I guess whatever. Oh, there we go. You did get it. Perfect. This can be roofed over now. Quality Builder's already flagged one room there. we are going to want to mine that out. I don't think that I have anyone who's necessarily good at mining, but it still needs to be done. Oh, no, I do have somebody. Boar is going to mine it. Well, I guess you can live up to your name then, won't you? We're going to need power around here as well, and given that we are in a temperate forest, which was chosen completely at random, but it'll work out for us, we can afford a wood fuel generator for a while. So, power, a wood fuel generator, we can put it right here, and then we'll need to wire everything up. There's a lot of building to be done day one. What time is it? What are we doing? Oh, it's recreation time. Okay, that's fine. We never did get all the beds made. And it's... Oh, okay, I'm looking at that. 56 degrees outside? That's not the worst thing in the world. It's only 60 degrees inside of these buildings. That's not terrible either. Let's make sure that we have the occupancy check on there. We only have one bathroom and we need to share it. Okay, can we please not screw up the construction on this? We do have limited resources. Steel, in this case, is going to be especially problematic. And you screwed up on the wood fire generator. Again, what did I just say? And now, there's a mad animal that wants us. Probably not anomalous enough. Wild animals do that. You missed, JP. Somebody got it. Oh. JP crushed it with his fist. Okay, well, good enough. However, now JP is injured. How bad is it? You got bit. I hope that doesn't get infected. Okay, we have a wood fire generator. Cool. We need to get ourselves some light. An earthquake. Huh. Okay. Well, there was already ruins down there. So it's kind of hard to tell if it's gotten any worse. Oh, by the way, I should mention that we are playing with Randy. We are playing Randy Random, and we're playing on Strive to Survive difficulty. Not losing is fun. We have too many other rules for us to be playing with losing is fun. So we're giving ourselves a little bit of a break there. Also, if I keep digging right away at that, we're going to lose roof over here. Let's make sure it doesn't fall on anything. I'm going to move that. Specifically, I'm going to move it over there. That'll be better. The reason being I'm going to put a lamp in there. Yep, and I knew that was coming. Okay, so... I knew I needed those supports, I just needed to know exactly where to put them. There we go. Now I do know. We can go ahead and put lamps in there as well. Are the walls over here done? No, they're not. I mean, if you're not building around here, what are you spending your time doing at least? I know that Boar is mining. Sleep time, but we still don't have beds for everybody. Can you please make beds? I mean, I guess I was fortunate enough that we even got the power generator up, but still. JP's up, even though it's the middle of the night. Hauling in wood. Harvesting oak trees. Okay. So that's what I've got people doing. People are out there gathering more wood. Not the worst thing in the world. We're going to need it. PC Unicorn, though, you're up. You got the lamps done in there. That's good. The warehouse now has light in it. And Ibex Ram has self-tamed. That's wonderful for you, but we're not keeping you. We're not here to keep animals. And there's nothing anomalous about a ram. I'm sorry. You're just not that special. What are you spending your time doing? And okay, hold on. So, since it looks like we'll be here a while, PC Unicorn thinks we should give our faction a name. Yes, we do have a name. We are the SCP Foundation. And as for this settlement's name is going to be the Forward Operating Base Alpha. We may have more of them in the future, so this will be Forward Operating Base Alpha, otherwise just FOB. Did I spell everything right? I think I did. Okay, there we go. Okay, I think we got everything done here. They're working on that. Now, if we're going to survive here, we're going to need some food. And that is what this courtyard is for. Okay, and it's not even a very good one. That's okay, though. There is another courtyard over here that will be much better. But let's go ahead and make this one rice. We'll make this one corn. As soon as I find it again. Corn, there it is. We can keep potatoes in that one. And then these two. Can we make hill root? We can. Okay, we'll do that. And yes, we may want to capture this one sooner rather than later. What do we have in terms of wood? Over 1,000. Good. We have people that are going to need bedrooms, so let's go ahead and get them squared away. And apparently I forgot to put doors over here. So we'll get that one done, and we'll do up here. It's not going to be great accommodations at first, but it'll be better than nothing. How many of these things do we have left? We have 8 left. Well, that's not great. We are going to need a different food source as well. I guess the animals must have eaten all of them. Okay, so we're going to start hunting. The animals around here are not anomalous. We can eat them if we need to. So let's set ourselves up a kitchen. Storage, we will need, no, not those. Dual refrigerators for food storage, and that should be everything we need. It's going to stretch our resources kind of thin, I think. We still have 629 and another 23 components. Okay, we're doing okay there. Not great, just okay. We are going to be butchering creatures forever. And already we're being attacked. A group of wasters from the filth lineup have arrived nearby. Either repair or defense. Let's take a look. So what are they? These are the first Xenos that we've seen. Let's take a look at them. You are something called a dirt mole. Okay. Good to know. Let's categorize these guys while they're waiting. Alright, so. Item number. This is going to be SCPR number 2. Object class. Let's just call this one creature. Containment class. To be determined. Description, though. They're humanoid. We can tell that much. So we're going to go here, and we're going to call it humanoid. But we don't know anything more about it yet. We'll have to wait and see to learn more. And he's got a lever-action rifle and a makeshift LMG. Not to mention they're attacking at night. This could be to their benefit. We'll let them get as much sleep as they need to. Here they come. Okay, then. Not drafted hunt. Oh, wait, we don't have search and destroy. That's right. Not yet. We'll have to add that. Right there should be good. Take cover there. You, come over here. And the rest of you, you are not in great cover. Come down here. The others, cover them while they move. One down. Two down. Okay. We have injuries. But we also have a victory. Okay, we'll need to study them. And for that, we're going to need to have some place to put them. For the time being, why don't we put all corpses right here? And yeah, go ahead and take care of injuries. How bad were we hurt? Shot in the arm. And shot in the torso, but just a bruise. No bleeding. You have an actual through-and-through gunshot. Okay, so what can we tell about them then? So what is a dirt mole? Let's take a look. Dirt moles. This is just their xenogerm. Does it tell me anything about them? Okay, here we go. Xenotype dirt mole. With gray skin adapted to artificial light, dirt moles thrive in cramped and dark spaces where combat and travel happen over short distances. They are naturals at digging and navigating complex tunnel structures in the open. They suffer from sensitivity to light, slow speed, and poor eyesight at a distance. Okay, then let's see what else we can add. So, description is going to be underground humanoid, slow, short-sighted, and sensitive to sunlight. Alright. Now, as far as containment procedures go, I got kind of nothing, because they're dead. Also, I don't know where these came from. Wait, what is this? Fallen monolith? Alright, and we have our third entry. So what is this thing? A monolith of unknown age, purpose, or construction. Its smooth surface is etched with lines that twist and writhe in unsettling patterns. Okay, log that too. So this is going to be SCPR 3. Object class is going to be not a structure, just an object. No, we'll call it we'll call it literally a monolith. Containment class. Well, it's not going anywhere. Doesn't seem dangerous, so we'll call it Euclid for now. Containment procedure to be determined. We'll do the same thing over here. Oh, wait. There we go. We'll do the same thing over here. Alright, so we've got SCPR-3, Monolith, it's Euclid, containment is to be determined, and for right now, it is just a monolith with moving markings. Because that's all we know for right now. We'll have to get to that later. Okay then. And that was your friend. These bodies, can we tell anything about them? That one is a Hussar. That one is human, and that one is a waster. Okay, we have more entries to make here. So, what is a waster then? Not what I wanted to look at, actually. Here we go, a waster. Wasters are aggressive, immune to toxic pollution, almost impervious to disease, and can ingest as much psychite and wake-up drugs as they wish with no ill effects. Their toxin-adapted metabolism means that they must consume some form of psychite, usually flake or yayo. Okay, well, we need to put that down. Number 4. SCPR number 4. Object class is going to be a creature. For now, I guess we're going to call it, well, it's just a dead creature, so I guess we'll call it Euclid. Containment procedure to be determined. Description is just going to be a creature that thrives in toxic environments and feeds on toxins. So there we go, we've got that much. And then what was the other one? The other one was this, a Hussar. Hussars are engineered soldiers. They fight aggressively and with precision. They heal fast, thrive at extreme temperatures, freely ingest military drugs. They have a genetic dependence on go juice. Genetically engineered super soldiers. Wonderful. SCPR 005. Object class going to be a creature. Containment class, given that it's a soldier, Keter. Containment procedures to be determined. Description, genetically engineered soldiers. Okay then, that's a lot already to begin with. However, we have this done now. So we'll get these set up real quick. We'll make this critical. This one is going to hold meat and animal products, but not all meat. Nothing with human in it. And nothing with insect meat in it. That's just a no. And over here, we'll use this one to hold raw vegetarian. And just for starters, we'll set this up so that they cook at least one meal per person. That should give us a start. They're planting rice now. They have corn already planted, as well as potatoes. But we need to capture this other area so that we can be farming over here too. One thing at a time, though, I suppose. For now, however, we're going to go ahead and we have to take a break here because we're kind of running over time. So, not a bad way to start. We've already logged several entries. And this is going to be very interesting. I have no idea where we're going to go from here. And to be honest, the endings that I'm shooting for, I have never done before, so I'm not even sure what's going to happen when we get there. It's going to be a learning experience for both of us. So, if you want to find out what that looks like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, that we get notified every time these videos come out. If you know somebody else who's also into either SCP or RimWorld, then share this video with them. But if you just like me, you like what I do, then leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below, especially if you want to be part of the investigation here. If you want to join the Foundation let me know in the comments down below. I'll find a way to fit you in. So, until next time, well, until the next SCPR anyway, take care.